give you like the brief history. Hello? Oh, that's a lot better. Okay, so the next song is called Inchon. It's by Robert W. Smith. And this song it's meaningful to a lot of people. It's about a war, and I'm going to read you guys about the history. So, on June 25th, 1950, the North Koreans invaded the South. Striking an overwhelming force without warning, they crushed the unprepared Republic of Korea army. The North Koreans were only contained by the entries of the United States, quickly supported by the United Nations. For a time, the issue was in doubt. Although the NK had virtually annihilated the ROK forces, the surprised ROKs had resisted desperately, and the NK had suffered grave losses in men and material in the savage fighting. When the NK first met the U.S. Army and realized the United States had really entered the conflict, they paused for a few weeks to regroup. This gave the U.S. and UN time to build up their forces and to finally stop the NK completely in the Battle of the Busan Perimeter. On September 15th, the 1st Marine Division under the command of Major General Oliver P. Smith led the first major UN force strike in North Korean-occupied territory with a surprise amphibious assault at Inchon. The 1st Marine Division Reconnaissance Company made the first helicopter landing on Hill 812 to relieve the ROK 8th Division during the renewed fighting. In 5 days of textbook-style campaigning, the division closed on the approaches of Seoul, the South Korean capital. In house-to-house fighting, the Marines wrested the city from its communist captors by September 27th. On October 7, 1950, with North Korean forces in full retreat, the Inchon-Seoul campaign was formally declared closed. Conceived and directed by General Douglas MacArthur, the assault at Inchon was a strategic masterpiece. The invasion had suddenly positioned some of the U.S.'s finest fighting men across the main NK lines of supply and retreat, far in the rear of their attacking armies. Within 2 weeks, the North Korean army was largely destroyed or made ineffective. Inchon, a musical work by Robert W. Smith, was inspired by this historic event. From the quiet sound of the waves on the lonely Korean beach to the landing of the helicopter on Hill 812, Inchon explores this clashing of cultures through sound. Even a simple Korean prayer in the center of the piece is answered by the more powerful Western statement of the same melody. As quickly as the invasion began, it ends as the helicopters fly into the distance, leaving the beach once again in solitude. Inchon is dedicated in loving memory of the composer's father, a heroic veteran of the Korean and Vietnam conflicts. Staff Sergeant Benjamin F. Smith, U.S. Army, was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. in May 2000. This work honors Sergeant Smith and his fellow heroes and commemorates the 50th anniversary of the Korean conflict. I hope you enjoy. We'll start shortly.